Every World Series of Poker main event has subplots. The chip leader that crashes and burns. The stars who don't make the money. But one subplot always gets the room buzzing. Last woman standing. Will it be Erica Motino?
To make it this far is really just amazing.
Or Amanda Musumeci?
It's definitely a good thing to be a female, knowing how to use that psychologically against people.
2 players can be last woman standing. 69 can be last player standing. Welcome back to the Rio for the conclusion of Day 6 of the World Series of Poker main event, presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky. So much on the line as the remaining 69 players set their sights on Day 7 and beyond. No surprise to see Ben Lamb in good shape.
Why shouldn't he be in good shape? He's got chips, he's got a girlfriend, and he's just 26 years old.
Eric Lindgren has a tough table draw, but he's a gamer.
He's not complaining. He's got enough chips. He's got a lovely wife. He's got a baby on the way.
Amanda Musumeci is one of 2 women remaining.
Like Ben Lamb, she's 26 years old, but she needs more chips.
Erica Motino has been impressive so far.
She's only 25. If my math's correct, that means next year she'll be 26.
Erica's got more chips than her boyfriend, David Doc Sands.
He's 26. They say age before beauty, but not this time.
Second in chips and first in chartreuse hoodies is Ryan Linehan.
Guess what? He's 26 years old. I'm not making this stuff up.
And there's Phil Collins, who has been on a chip-gathering mission on Day 6.
Lon Collins also is 26. Apparently, if you're not 26, you're nobody here.
Only 1% of the original field remains. The University of South Carolina grad on top, followed by Linehan, German, Pius Hines, and Ben Lamb. At our secondary table, Jean-Robert Ballon still in the game. He has already bettered his 78th place finish from last year in the main event. Blinds at 25 and 50,000. Tri Huing, amateur from British Columbia, Canada, with King Queen.
He has a degree in psychology and also has some training in hypnotism. Is it unethical to hypnotize an opponent at no limit?
A raise to 115,000. Andy Henriksen, a 23-year-old Aussie with pocket eights.
He trains dolphins there, but dolphins are barred from most casino card rooms.
This is his first ever World Series cash, and he calls.
We started the main event with 6,865 players. 99% of them are gone.
A number of players gone from this hand. Folded to the big blind. Ballon with 7-6 of hearts comes along.
The last time Jean-Robert gave up his big blind, Minnesota Fats weighed less than Amarillo Slim.
All right, 3 players will see this flop. Ace, ace, 6. Nobody has an ace. Ballon paired his 6, but still trails.
Jean-Robert looking for his mojo on Day 6.
Ballon bets 100,000. Tri Huing now. He's also a venture capitalist in Canada. He folds now to Henriksen with the best hand, aces and eights, and he calls.
$8.7 million will go to the main event champion. Jean-Robert's thoughts are elsewhere right now.
Tray of clubs on the turn. Ballon called from the big blind, bet the flop, now checks.
Henriksen says he is not a pro, calls himself more of a lucky enthusiast.
I like that. He bets 100,000.
100,000? What is that? I guess Henriksen is trying to reel in the dolphin.
1/6 of the pot is what that is, but Ballon will come along for the small amount.
Ballon may think he has the best hand, or if a spade hits on the river, he might bluff at it.
The river card. And there is a spade. Action on Jean-Robert now.
At the moment, Jean-Robert doesn't look like a lucky enthusiast.
He's left with aces and 6s. He checks to Henriksen's aces and 8s.
I wouldn't bet if I were Henriksen. More downside than upside.
He does check.
And a 6.
And Ballon's 6 will not be good enough. Andy Henriksen will take that pot. Jean-Robert giving up chips. Henriksen over $3 million now.
That is a bigger hit to Jean-Robert stacked than it looks.
There has been plenty of build-up to this year's November 9, but as we near the conclusion of Day 6, the final table is front and center on the minds of the remaining 69 players. Some of the stars are short-stacked, but there are plenty of intriguing possibilities for the biggest night in poker.
Jean-Robert Ballon at the final table would be big news, and not just because he's 6'6". Ben Lamb at the final table would be a fitting conclusion to a splendid summer. But here's what I'd really like to see. Erica Matino and David Sands at the final table. Why? Because before they get all engaged and married, I want them to spend some time together in a stressful situation. Then they'll know if they can live happily ever after.
Well, forget the final table. Just having them both make it to day 6 with chips is stressful enough. Where's the Tylenol?
I just believe podiatrists shouldn't date podiatrists, lawyers shouldn't date lawyers, and poker players shouldn't date poker players.
Brian Yoon with ace-9 of spades and a raise to 115,000 over to Ben Lamb. Lamb the top stack at this table with 7.3 million calls. Fold it over to Alexander Mozhnikov on the button. King Jack. He'll sit this one out. Fold it over to Gorilik in the big blind, and he lays it down. So heads up, Yoon and Lamb.
I want to play pots with Ben, man. Why can't you just 3-bet?
All right, the flop. 4 trade Jack. Yoon did not pair up. Lamb is best with a small pocket pair.
Well, the continuation bet has wrecked more young lives.
130,000 from Yoon.
I don't think I've ever seen any 26-year-old look more comfortable at a poker table than Ben Lamb.
He makes the call.
Yoon just 21, which means Lamb has been on planet Earth 24% longer than Yoon has.
Turn card 6 of diamonds. Again, no help to Yoon. Lamb picks up an up and down straight draw.
Well, Yoon seems intent on carrying on. Why do you want to give away your chips? Like Oklahoma Johnny Hale always says, money is not that heavy to carry.
He pumps up the pot some more, 250,000.
I suspect Lamb will stick around. He may even raise the youngin here.
He's certainly got the chips and the chops to do it. There's a call.
And Yoon goes, oh, geez, man, he called?
Yoon trying to work under the Ben Lamb scrutiny. King of clubs on the river. Lamb's hand is best.
Lamb intently watching Yoon. If Yoon's going to sneeze, Lamb knows it first. You know, I think Yoon knew he would fire a third bluff if he had to here. I respect that. It's the only way he can win the pot.
It looks like he will test Ben a little further. That's about 1/3 of the pot, 340,000.
Yoon disguises the bluff as a value bet, and Ben Lamb ain't buying what he's selling.
Lamb going for his stack, makes the call.
You're definitely good. Nice hero.
Lamb will take that pot.
I don't think Yoon is going to try to steal too many pots from Ben Lamb from here on in. He just bluffed off 1/4 of his stack.
And he's learned a hard lesson that so many other players before him have. Ben Lamb made that hand look easy.
Great call there, Ben.
For some insight on how he did it, let's check in with 11-time bracelet winner, Phil Hellmuth.
Well, calling a triple barrel bluff with 2 5s, my hat's off to you. If I had one on, Ben Lamb, well done. Jack 4-3 flop, as you saw. Lamb calling on the flop with 5s, good call. On the turn, a 6 came off. Now that made his call a lot easier as he had an open-ended straight. From Yoon's point of view, he bluffed again, shows some guts to double barrel bluff. The river's a king, and I think that Yoon decided I'm going to represent a king, and I'm going to make a big bet here. But he didn't make a big bet. He only bet 340,000. Lamb called down the triple barrel bluff with 2 5s. This hand is not about Yoon, who could have bet $1 million and maybe won the hand. Rather, it's about Lamb calling a triple barrel bluff with 2 5s. That's why you're there, kid. Well done.
Lamb is the Player of the Year leader. Hellmuth second in that race at the moment.
At an outer table, Alan Cunningham in a pickle, short stacked, all in with pocket kings, only to have Marc-Andre Ledouceur wake up with aces.
But it's kings and not 3s or 4s. Really.
All right, here's the flop. 9 tray, 4 rainbow. It's simple for Cunningham now.
Even Alan Cunningham runs kings into aces now and again. This could end his main event.
Jack of hearts, Cunningham down to his final river card, perhaps.
Cunningham's got to have a king.
The river is pink, but it's a queen. Ledouceur's aces hold up, and he'll take the last of the 5-time bracelet winners chips.
His 4th main event cash in 6 years, another deep run, and another validation of Cunningham's greatness.
Over $108,000 won by Alan Cunningham for his 69th place finish. A huge boost to Marc-Andre Ledouceur, who does the field a favor by knocking out Alan Cunningham. A Canadian over $2.7 million. It was a great run, though, for the former Player of the Year. Alan Cunningham's 2011 main event, though, comes crashing to an end. Nearly 6 days are complete here at the main event. 68 players remain. Just 9 will play at the final table in November. New Orleans pro Ryan Lenahan just 4-bet pre-flop with jacks into Brian Folane with ace-queen in the hole. Folane, a 30-year-old amateur from Fremont, California.
He runs a junk removal hauling company.
And he re-raises to $2.2 million.
I'm all in. All in.
And Lenahan raises Folane all in.
Folane already has committed half his stack. Hard to fold it. He knows he's behind. I think he'd take a race for his main event life at this point.
Lenahan starting the hand with twice the chips of Folane.
I had fun. I call.
He makes the call. And so it will be ace-queen all in against the jacks of Lenahan.
Folane had a lot of chips to start the hand, 80 big blinds. You hate to put them all in with ace-queen off, but that's how it played out.
Norman, look at that pot, 8.1 million in the middle. And here is the flop. No ace, no queen. Folane's hopes are dimming.
Lenahan drove 28 hours from New Orleans to get here, and it's about to pay off with a chip lead at this main event.
Turn card, 4 of diamonds.
Oh, come on, baby.
Folane with a flush draw.
Diamonds are my wife's best friend.
Folane looking for a diamond, an ace, or a queen, or he'll be gone.
The river card.
Diamonds. Come on, baby.
The 10 of clubs. Folane comes up short. Lenahan's pocket jacks win him a huge pot. Folane sent to the rail, and we have a new chip leader in Ryan Lenahan.
I'd fold any day of the week if I wasn't halfway in already. 12 million sounded a hell of a lot better than 1.8. Wow.
The moment it's all over, it's as if you're in shock.
Elsewhere in the center is Jake Baisley at risk and way behind with 2 red queens as Fabio Sousa was dealt 2 black kings. 2 players well under the chip average clashing here. The flop now. 5-5 kings. Sousa flops kings full.
Sousa needs to come back to the table, and Baisley knows he's going to need to leave. Baisley, as you may recall, played Division II college basketball.
He'll need every queen in the deck to win this pot. Sousa still not watching. And it's an ace on the turn, and that will end the matter. Sousa scores the knockout.
Sousa had hit a runner-runner flush on day 5 to stick around, and he's still sticking around.
Baisley with his 4th cash of this World Series. Sousa now with 2.1 million chips. And for the 28-year-old pro from Cincinnati, Jake Baisley, over $108,000. Back now to our secondary table. You see the last 2 women standing and their chip counts. Erica Motino with a much bigger stack. Action on Tree Wing. Ace Jack.
Wing says, I didn't come here for the dry heat. I came here to play.
And the man who looks like a poker secret agent raises to $115,000. King 8 for Laborda.
You know, I think it's a single button on the front that keeps Laborda's flag from dropping to the floor.
Folded to Sebastian Rutenberg.
T-shirts are just so much more practical to wear than flags.
Folded around 2. Jean-Robert Valland, ace 10 of spades in the small blind.
I'm all in.
And Valland is going to commit all his chips.
Jean-Robert pushes with less than 20 big blinds left.
And an immediate call from the wing who has Jean-Robert out chipped and dominated.
Jean-Robert dominated and depressed. He sees the bad news and immediately regrets pushing.
Tree Wing trying to put Jean-Robert out of his misery. Jean-Robert already has bested his finish from last year's main event. Here's the flop. Aces up for Wing.
7 of spades.
He doesn't have a lot of outs. Milan's going to need a runner-runner miracle.
I guess if I call, I'm in anyways.
He needs to catch something on the turn or he's gone. 4 of diamonds doesn't do it, and the main event is over for Jean-Robert.
Good game, man. All right. All right, guys.
Well, Jean-Robert now broke and living like a 65th place finisher. But my goodness, back-to-back top 100 finishes at the main event. Mr. Valland has some substance to go along with his style.
Valland made quite an impression here at the main event, as he usually does. Tree Wing up to $6.5 million as he absorbs the last of Jean-Robert Valland's chips. Right now, Valland is standing by with Kara Scott.
Jean-Robert, talk to us about where this went wrong for you today, because you've had such a great run up to this point.
Well, basically, Kara, I was short stacked almost the whole day, and when you're short stacked, there's very little poker playing you can actually do. Most of anything you do is done pre-flop, and when you get really short stacked, you basically only have one option, which is to shove. For the second year in a row, I'm going to go home with a questionable hand on, like, did I really need to play the ace-10 of spades right there all in? And, you know, last year was the queen-10 of diamonds.
But 2 really impressive deep runs, and thanks so much for talking to us.
Oh, wow, my pleasure, and thanks for having me. And, wow, maybe we'll get back here again. That'd be great.
They are falling fast as day 6 wraps up. Each elimination moves the remaining field closer to that big payday at the end, $8.7 million. Welcome back to the 2011 main event presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Already we've seen Alan Cunningham and Jean-Robert Ballon bust late on day 6, leaving 63 players. The World Series is made up of more than just the main event. 58 total events were held this summer with over 75,000 combined entrants. 6,865 of them came here on the main event.
Here's what I don't understand, Lon. Women comprise 1/2 of the human race, but women only make up 3.5% of the main event field. Those numbers just don't make sense. Where are all the women?
Careful what you wish for. I firmly believe women are smarter than men. They might take over the game. Lindgren with pocket aces under the gun, playing 7-handed now at the feature table, a raise to 110,000.
Lindgren's new bride, Erica Schoenberg, is a poker pro, but I believe one of them has to give it up. I'm sponsoring legislation to disallow couples from playing poker. I just don't think it's healthy for long-term relationships.
Oh, like you know so much about relationships.
Good for you.
All right, fold it over to J.P. Kelly on the Jack Link's Beef Jerky hole count. Queen 9 of clubs on the button.
At about 2-2, 2-1.
Kelly and Jesper Hogo, the only players ever to win bracelets here and in Europe in the same year.
Kelly calls. Yoon gives up his small blind. Ben Lamb in the big blind. 7-6 of diamonds. And he makes the call, so the 3 bracelet winners will see a flop. Lindgren's aces, the hand to beat. Here's the flop. 10-5-8. Lamb is open-ended. Kelly with a gut shot. Lamb checks. Lindgren ahead with his aces. Bets 190,000.
With a scary flop for pocket aces. Straight and flush draws out there. Pocket middle pairs might have hit.
Kelly makes the call.
Lamb with that straight draw, but because of the flush possibility, he's got what we call tainted outs. He can hit that straight, but if it's a heart, a lot of times it might be a loser.
Ben Lamb will come along, and they build a pot of almost $1 million.
Lindgren's pocket aces right now have a 50% chance of winning this pot, Lon, which means they have a 50% chance of losing this pot.
All right, turn card. 6 of clubs. Lamb with a pair of 6s now.
Check.
And he checks.
Pocket ace is still ahead, but if you look at that board, it's hard to figure they're going to hold up in a 3-way hand.
Lindgren bets 550,000. He would love to clear everyone else out right now.
But Kelly, I think, has got a call now with a flush draw and a double gutter. He's getting the right price.
J.P. Kelly. Looks like there's no quit in him as he makes the call.
And I think Lamb's got to play now. He's getting 4-1 on a call.
So this pot gets bigger. The intrigue more intriguing. This hand developing between these 3 top players. And Lamb does make the call.
Well, Lindgren's pocket aces with a 48% chance of winning this pot line, which means they have a 52% chance of losing this pot. I hope you're keeping up with all the higher math.
I got it. River card. Oh, and bingo for Benba as Lamb completes a 10 high straight.
The pocket aces are not going to hold up long.
No. And Eric looks worried.
1 million.
And a million chips from Ben Lamb. Quickly the aces into the muck.
Kelly wondering if Lamb missed a heart draw and is making a move. Kelly has a pair of 9s. By the way, the number is no longer up there, but Lindgren's pocket ace is now with a 0% chance of winning the pot.
I kept up on that part. J.P. Kelly will lay it down, and Ben Lamb will add 1.7 million chips to his stack, and that's a beautiful thing.
It's good to be Ben Lamb.
Lamb approaching 10 million chips. And Motino's boyfriend, Doc Sands, is joining the table.
Is this the main event or is this Love Connection?
Oh, my God. Look who it is.
I know a few of you.
The doctor's in. Yes, and the clinic is open.
Oh, fan.
We scripted that. We figured this might happen.
That was completely scripted.
Good news is we scripted it a while ago, so it meant we had confidence.
I'm going to have to fast-track my couples legislation.
Boyfriend and girlfriend at the featured table. The game just got a little more interesting.
I'm happy to be here. I'm having fun, let me tell you.
Oh my God.
The doctor's in.
We scripted that. We figured this might happen.
That was completely scripted.
A new dynamic here at the main event. Boyfriend and girlfriend sitting across the belt from each other.
Why don't we just break out Twister?
Motino and Sands with nearly identical chip stacks. Meanwhile, the only other woman left is afraid to see the flop. Amanda Musumeci, all in with pocket nines, racing against the ace-queen of tournament leader Ryan Lenahan.
Are Musumeci and Lenahan engaged or married or anything?
No, they are not. 5 deuce 10. Musumeci still alive in her double up or go home moment.
Amanda pleased with the flop and hoping she's going to be sitting down for a while.
Lenahan came up empty on the flop. Now the turn. And there's a queen. Lenahan pairs up. Suddenly Musumeci feels quite helpless.
And now Musumeci has to have a 9 or her main event is over.
The river card. The tray of diamonds. Lenahan takes the last of Amanda Musumeci's stack. So the richest in the room gets about $1 million richer as Lenahan up to almost $12.9 million. Musumeci will earn almost $131,000.
One 26-year-old knocks out another, and we are down to a single female here at the main event.
Attention players, representing half the planet, our last one standing is Erica Motino from Easton, Connecticut. Go, girl.
Yes, are you kidding? That's awesome. Oh my God. First ever 10K, last woman. Yeah, and last girlfriend probably too.
Because you're going with Bimbo, right?
Last woman standing is certainly an impressive accomplishment for Motino, but starting a business with her boyfriend is impressive too.
Hey, Erica, did you pull this picture of Kuhn with the silver shirt wearing the tie?
Yeah, I got that one.
All right, good. Yeah, I really like that look for him, so I think we should throw that on there.
Yeah. Erica Motino,
David Doc Sands,
25 years old,
26 years old,
Las Vegas, Nevada.
There was never really a day where we woke up and were like, oh, let's start a business helping other poker players, but she just does such great work and provides, you know, such great services that are really beneficial to players. It just kind of grew organically.
Some of us just tried to convince Erica to adopt us, help organize us and get our lives together, because poker players, we all live pretty sloppy lives, so.
I was not a poker player before I met David. I actually had no idea what hands beat what. I didn't know, I didn't even know you could play online. And then as we started hanging out more and more, subconsciously I just started learning, and then I really started enjoying the game and just got into it. In order to stay sane, between me and David, we have other interests in common besides poker. We love to hike and work out, and I like to keep the poker talk to a minimum. Because I do understand the game of poker and understanding, what Dave's going through on a daily basis. And if I didn't really understand poker, then I feel like I would be kind of removed from his life in a way.
Even though I would like it if she outlasts me in the main event, if it does happen, I'm sure I won't hear the end of it. I'll be getting a lot of crap from my friends for a lot of years.
Bragging rights.
Exactly.
They met when they were studying abroad as college juniors in Australia. Doc pushed Erica to play the main event this year, and she didn't decide to until the night before the final day one.
So Erica Motino adds her name to the list. You see Maria Ho from 2007. She just missed out on a bracelet this year with a runner-up finish. Barbara Enright, the only woman to make the final table in the big one. Action on Motino here at the featured table. King 4. She lays it down to J.P. Kelly now, and he has the Jack Link's Beef Jerky wild card hand. He raises to $125,000.
I don't know, Lon. I guess he's mixing it up with suited connectors. D, 7-6 of diamonds.
All right. Yoon with ace-queen.
So I guess it doesn't count if I put Yoon on ace-queen?
No, I'm sorry, it does not.
It's not even a choice up there. I'm going off the menu.
No, you have to pick ace-queen for Yoon. Yoon calls. So folded to Lindgren.
Cool, that raise. Let's go.
Whoa, hey. Mozhnikov talking out of turn, I guess.
As usual.
Oh, the usual, okay.
See, Lindgren's confused. He knows Yoon has ace-queen off, but like me, he's not sure what Kelly has. Plus, Moznikov behind him claims he's going to raise if Eric calls.
Lindgren on the button, folds.
Talk me into it.
Now Moznikov. Trey deuce.
Moznikov, of course, was joking. Don't think he was raising with Trey deuce.
Fold the 2, Doc Sands. Ace-8 off. And he will lay it down, so we're heads up.
Yeah, heads up with a couple of young guns who cut their teeth online. What a surprise.
Yoon and Kelly. Kelly won bracelets and no limit and pot limit hold'em. Here is the flop. King 7-9. No help to Yoon.
Now, Kelly actually prefers pot limit hold'em, but as you mentioned, he's pretty adept at both.
He had a second place finish at the World Series of Poker Europe last year. And he now has chips in hand. He bets 165,000.
Okay, I'm ruling out B, the gut shot. It's the only hand I'm ruling out. On the other hand, with Yoon, I rule out nothing. He's got nothing now. He'll have nothing tomorrow. Yoon walks around the UCLA campus most days with nothing.
He does make the call. All right. Oh, and JP getting the Ben Lamb glare from Yoon. Tray of hearts on the turn.
Now we'll see where he's at.
Kelly with a bet of 355,000.
I don't know where he's at. Well, with Yoon calling the flop, I don't think Kelly would bet here with just a pair of sevens and a flush draw. I'm going to give him credit for a better hand now. A, ace-king for top pair, top kicker.
Yoon. Oh, boy, this guy wants to play. Just with ace high, does he have a read on Kelly? He does make the call.
He doesn't got a read. He's got nothing. He's just trying to mastermind some scheme to win the pot. He's got ace high, no draw.
River card 8 of spades. Kelly, the initial raiser, and he's bet the whole way.
Well, if he missed his draw and bets again here, my compliments to him. But I've got Kelly squarely on top pair, top kicker now with ace-king.
Kelly says 800,000. That's 4 stacks of 200,000 each.
By the way, I don't know what Kelly has. I'm guessing ace-king, but I'm really glad this wild card hand isn't Yoon. I would have no idea that Yoon is sitting on ace-queen right now. He's got absolutely nothing, and heck, he'll probably call the river.
I call.
He does call. Kelly shows ace-king to win the Jack Link's Beef Jerky wild card hand. Way to go, Norman.
Yoon thought it was a bluff, and I've got to get at least half credit on that one. Don't make me appeal it. I converted to ace-king on the turn.
In fact, we'll give you full credit. And with top pair, JP Kelly boosts his stack to almost 4 million. Yoon now below 1 million. JP Kelly kept Brian Yoon on a string, and Yoon called him all the way down. That put a hurt on Yoon as JP Kelly becomes a much more dangerous threat in the 2011 main event. There is no more recognizable piece of jewelry in poker, the standard of excellence that every player strives for, the gold bracelet. Eric Lindgren has a gold bracelet, not a main event gold bracelet, but a bracelet. Ace-9 off.
E-Dog's got a curious system. He wins playing poker and loses betting sports. It's a living.
Eric with a preemptive strike on Moznikov, a raise to 120.
Moznikov went fishing this morning, caught 3 steelhead in the Las Vegas River.
He folds. Doc Sands gives it up over to South African Costa Mamaliadis with pocket sixes on the Jack Link's Beef Jerky hole cam.
He's a second-generation Greek South African, 34-year-old amateur, works in the import-export shipping business.
He started the day with $1.2 million up to 6.6. That's how you give yourself a shot of being one of the November 9. He calls. Makiewski folds his button. Motino, her small blind, and Kelly folds. Heads up now.
Hey, Boo. You have a chip stuck between your stack and the rail.
Hey, Boo. That's what you call me, Lon. What a coincidence.
How did they know? All right, here we go to the flop. Deuce 9-10. Eric takes the lead with middle pair. Mamaliadis missed that flop. Lindgren checks.
Mamaliadis has only played in one live event prior, the 08 All-African Tournament, and Raymond Rami knocked him out.
Rami famously made a main event final table a few years ago. He bets 220,000, does Mamaliadis.
I'm all in.
And Eric shoves all in.
The amateur can only call here, I would think, if he puts Lindgren on a draw. Would E-Dog push on a draw?
Eric does few things lightly, normally. Lindgren risking all his chips.
I'll call you. Call.
Yeah, I hope you don't have a 10.
He does not have a 10. Lindgren ahead and all in.
Eric's got to like it. Third time he's pushed all in on day 6 in great shape.
You like that hand to be against? You said?
That's what I was hoping for.
Tell the viewers at home why.
Turn card another 10. Lindgren 1 card away from a 3 million chip stack.
Mamaliadis needs a 6 to send Eric Lindgren out of here.
The river card, the jack of spades, and Lindgren will double up once again. You cannot get rid of this guy in this year's main event.
Well, Lindgren needs to build a stack, but he's playing the short stack pretty darn well.
Mamaliadis lost about $1.5 million, but still sits with over $5 million. And how about Lindgren? Just $3,700 after day 1, now with $3 million on day 6.
60 big blinds isn't bad.
To the secondary table now, 4 pocket pairs saw a flop. Nobody caught a set. Tyler Bonkowski with jacks just shoved on the aces of Tree Wing. Wing made the call. O&OD had folded 10s, and Jody Howe pocket 7s.
Wing's got Bonkowski on the edge.
Bonkowski had to move with just 600,000 chips before the hand started. But his jacks running into the aces, a deuce of diamonds, Bonkowski misses.
And now Bonkowski will need a jack and a jack only, or Tree Wing's got his man.
The river card is a 4, and that will end the main event and the Las Vegas World Series for Tyler Bonkowski. Tree Wing becomes the top stack at this table once again. Bonkowski can't complain about his summer, over $350,000 in winnings, including his first bracelet.
And the venture capitalist keeps making some capital gains.
Tree Wing working on a 7 million chip stack there at the secondary table. To one of the outer tables, 2 nearly identical stacks of nearly 4 million are jousting in the white hat. Matt Giannetti flopped a set of 9s, checked to Thomas Gray. He has pocket kings and bet $560,000.
Giannetti plays quite deliberately. And guess what? He's 26 years old. Of course he is.
Giannetti announces a raise, puts out the calling chips, and now Gray wonders what Giannetti is going to make it. Giannetti raises to a total of 1.4 million and change.
All in.
Gray moved all in. And Giannetti makes the call. Another 8 million chip pot, and Giannetti way ahead.
The overpair against the flop set. This will be the 379th time I've seen the overpair swept out of the main event. But if Gray gets lucky, Giannetti will be down to a single 25,000 chip.
Turn card. 5 of diamonds. Giannetti's still good.
Both stacks virtually identical. Thomas Gray's got to have a king, or Matt Giannetti's going to have a lot of chips.
The river card is a jack. Giannetti wins it. Giannetti with 8 million chips. Gray on his way out.
370.
Wow, man. I feel my heart right now. When I saw pain, I couldn't see over your stack. I'm not joking, man.
A surprisingly calm Thomas Gray wins almost $131,000. Matt Giannetti can relax. The paint on the river was dry. He is now one to be reckoned with as the main event field gets even smaller. Former supermarket deli slicer Justin Pesci cut up the competition in the $1,500 limit hold'em shootout, winning his first bracelet.
The final table was one of the toughest final tables I've ever been at.
And in the World Series' 5th $1,500 no-limit hold'em tournament, Andre Akari bested Nachman Berlin heads up to take home nearly $700,000 and become Brazil's second ever bracelet winner.
Was that the flag that Hilton Laborda is now wearing?
It quite possibly was. Laborda representing Brazil well in the main event, up to nearly $7 million. Fabio Sosa, the auto body shop owner, over $2 million.
Alexander Gomez was the first Brazilian to win a bracelet in 2008.
You see Ryan Lenahan, still the top dog in the house with almost $12.5 million. Here at the feature table, folded to Ben Lamb on the button. He lays it down to the small blind Eric Lindgren with ace-5 off.
But I call.
And he limps on day 6 of the main event. He limps.
He's tired. It's day 6.
All right, now the big blind, Alexander Moshnikov with 6 deuce off. He's not going to fold, so yeah, he checks his option.
He's tired. He checks his option. It's day 6.
All right, heads up. Here's the flop. 7-5 jack, a pair of 5s for Lindgren. They both check. Turn card 4 of hearts. Lindgren still ahead. Moshnikov is open-ended. Eric checks.
Mozhnikov fishing for a straight now.
Mozhnikov with a
800.
purple 100,000 chip.
Or 18, right?
800?
80,000.
Hold on.
Yes.
You threw that in and said 800, but it.
Okay.
You threw it in and said 8. That's all I heard
to
with
play
8.
such way?
What did I play? You threw it in first and then I don't know what I did. He's saying an amount, so it could be 100, it could be... He threw it in and then he said 800 as he threw it. 100,000.
First?
Кто хотел поставить?
Say first.
He wanted to bet 80,000.
When I come to table, I don't bet everybody.
Whatever you want to bet, I don't care.
Okay.
You tell me what you wanted to bet 80? He threw it in first. I'm going to let him bet 80.
That makes sense, really.
He threw it in first and then said an amount.
That makes more sense than 800.
It's 100,000.
He said 18, but he made 80.
The ruling is he threw in a purple chip. The bet's 100,000.
I know. I'll let you bet 80.
They're not letting him bet 80. If they say it's 100.
What number you need? Tell me, please.
100,000 is the bet.
Really? It suddenly feels like a black market. Price is right. Lindgren should mess with Mozhnikov now and raise Vosum Sot here.
I don't think he did. He just called.
He called 800. 99,200 back.
The river card. Oh, Mozhnikov with a big blind special, rivering an 8-high straight. And Lindgren checked.
Eric in the middle of a game show he doesn't understand. Mozhnikov somehow managed to go from 6 deuce in the big blind to a floppy miss to a draw on the turn to a straight on the river.
And there, 4 purple chips, 400,000.
He bets silently this time.
It's a lot more than 800.
Now Eric will try to suss the Russian out.
He might have like a deuce 3.
Oh, Lindgren should say something in Russian. See if he picks up a tail on Mozhnikov.
Eric is Swedish. He knows no Russian.
Oh, man, where do these cards keep popping out at? All right, give him the pot.
Lindgren lays it down.
I feel like it's deuce. I feel like it's deuce 3. All right. Is it a deuce 3? Show the deuce 3.
You'll see.
Show us now. We only have 3 hands.
Mozhnikov up to 6.4 million. Lindgren down to 2.8 million.
Anyways, he don't know how to say it right, so he cannot tell truth now.
So Mozhnikov will take that pot. Eric Lindgren left scratching his head.
I'm sorry for the problem.
Oh, no, there's no problem. I wasn't taking a shot.
Thank you for fair play.
Yeah, I'll let you bet whatever you want.
Such way as you do.
Just stop bluffing me. That's all I ask. We have a deal? Can we make a deal like that?
No.
No more bluffing?
I asked if I could put a
Can this
bounty
whole
on a
table
player's
make a
head,
bond? No more bluffing the rest of the
I
night.
was going to put a bounty on Amanda, whatever, Bodog Mander's butt, or head. Manderbutt's head. Manderbutt's head. For the last woman standing, but they said it was collusion. I couldn't do it.
Folded to Anton Makievsky with pocket queens on the Jack Link's beef jerky hole count.
I hadn't really thought about it. I was pretty sure it was going to be voted illegal. They had like a floor convention, because obviously there's not a rule about that. So they decided it was going to be a form of collusion.
Makievsky with a raise to 125,000. Eric Motino folds a suited queen 9. Fold that over to Brian Yoon, king jack offsuit.
Yoon pretty active and now pretty short stacked.
Yep.
I'm all in.
He says all in for 840,000. Lindgren folds now to Alexander Mozhnikov, the Russian. Ace jack suited.
He graduated from the Moscow University of Law and Business. I believe they are the Thundering Herd.
140,000 total.
Mozhnikov in the small blind.
Character.
I call.
He calls to put Yoon at risk. Doc Sands folds his big blind. Back to Makievsky now.
Makievsky with not much more than 1 million chips left. He likely will be pushing here.
All in.
He is all in with the queens.
All in. All in.
Go.
Mozhnikov calls, and now he has a chance to shorten the field by 2 if the right cards fall.
Ace jack.
That's live. Pretty good call.
Makievsky can virtually triple up here. Yoon in deep trouble.
Indeed, with the King Jack, Yoon going up against two superior hands. Here's the flop. Two players at risk, and there's a queen for Makievsky. He hits a set.
Now, if you put Yoon and Mozhnikov's hands together, they'd still be way behind Makievsky. He's got a hammerlock on this one.
Yoon appears destined for the rail. The turn card, another four, gives the Ukrainian a boat, a hand that cannot be beat. So Makievsky takes a chunk of Mozhnikov's chips, and in the process, Brian Yoon has been eliminated.
Good luck.
58th place, a nice payday will serve him well in Westwood during his last year at UCLA.
He was a kid with a dream.
Ace-Jack failed Mozhnikov, and it cost him about 20% of his stack. First, Anton Makievsky played interpreter. Then he takes Mozhnikov's chips. Makievsky up to $3.4 million now here in the main event. The Amazon room continues to buzz here at the 2011 main event as we near the 50-player mark. Right now, let's go to Kara Scott with a report from the outer tables.
Brian Devonshire started with 30,000 chips just like everybody else, but you wouldn't know it to look at his stack. When I say that he's getting creative with his chips, I don't just mean the way that he's playing. And he knows how to play a big stack as well. He has 2 World Series final tables and a WPT final table behind him and over $1 million in live tournament earnings.
Devo's chip stack reminds me of physics class when I had to build a bridge out of balsa wood.
Yes, I've had it for one night. One night and one dinner break every other time. No, maybe 2 now. What are we on, day 7? I don't know. They blend together. I think I've had 2, maybe. Definitely way less.
I have the Panorama chip lead.
Yeah.
All of Panorama.
You do?
Why don't you go ahead and raise fold to me so I can pick up the house chip lead? That'd mean a lot to me. Really would.
Ben's like, I only played like 8 events. 8 events.
Action on Ben Lam. Lam with King 7.
But every event he played, it took 4 or 5 days.
Lam going to lay it down now to Lindgren.
I took 1 day off this summer.
Eric with King Jack of Hearts.
I took 2 days off this summer.
There you go.
A raise to 120,000.
At the end of the night, amateurs want to survive, but pros want to win, so they look to pick up chips.
Mozhnikov with ace-6 folds. Doc Sands from the button with ace-jack of diamonds calls.
Motino ended 4 of the first 5 days here with more chips than her boyfriend. Sands trying to regain the house chip lead.
So Sands and Lindgren heads up. The flop, queen, ace, tray. Lindgren with a Broadway draw. Sands hits top pair. Lindgren checks. Sands gives a free card.
We've seen this so often, a strong hand checking the flop.
Turn card, tray of diamonds. Sands adds the nut flush draw. Eric got no help.
When you check the flop as Sands did, you manage the pot size, and you often get value from opponents later in the hand.
Lindgren commits chips, 150,000.
Lindgren takes a shot and hopes it's over. It won't be. And here's a case where if Sands had bet the flop, Lindgren might have folded. Instead, Doc gets 150,000 extra chips here on the turn.
Sands just with a measured call.
E-Dog measuredly concerned by that call.
River card now. 6 of diamonds, and Sands hits the nut flush. And now Lindgren.
Does Lindgren want to wave the towel or fire another bluff? You know Eric would love to chip up a little more.
The last hand of the night. He turns his hand into a badly timed bluff, 340,000.
He bets half the pot.
Sands not going anywhere.
All in.
And he raises all in. Eric says oops and lays it down.
Reclaims the house chip lead.
Erica had been ahead by 45,000 chips before that final hand.
Good game. Oh, man.
Yeah, Motino. Just when you talk about how many nights you had the chip lead, I snatch it from your grasp.
Sands over 2.7 million.
Hey, babe, I'm really, really proud of you. That's an awesome accomplishment.
I don't think she wants to talk to him.
A hit to E-Dog, but still a positive day for him overall. Ryan Lenahan needs an extra durable bag for his 12 million plus chips.
I know it's bad for the environment, but he really should double bag those chips.
Lenahan leads the way. Lamb closing in on 10 million. 4 of the top 5 are 26-year-olds. But the big story, Motino and Sands at the same table. Kara is with them now.
Well, the draw is random, and when we get to this few players, it's, you know, you're bound to run into each other. What did you think when David sat down?
I was pretty surprised when I saw him walk through the tunnel, but it was fun. It was nice to have him there.
Really no sort of, I don't want to play against him, that sort of thing?
No, I mean, there wasn't that much time left in the level, and yeah, it was fine.
How about you? You're sitting down there. She has position on you as well. What were you thinking?
I was just excited to be there. You know, it was a great experience, and I think it's a really unique accomplishment, you know, for both of us individually and collectively. The fact that she's the last woman standing, and it's her first 10K that she's ever played, and, you know, she just played great, and I'm really proud of her efforts and my efforts, so it was fun to be able to celebrate that together at the end of the day, for sure.
Well, best of luck to both of you tomorrow. Thanks so much.
Great, thank you.
Just when you think you've seen it all, the main event turns into the dating game.
Oh my God.
The doctor is in.
Alan Cunningham and Eric Lindgren were two of the most recognizable faces, but now one is gone and the other on the short stack.
All right, give the pot.
Ryan Linehan stole the chip lead in dramatic fashion.
Wow.
But Ben Lamb and Matt Gianetti will have something to say about that on day 7. For Norman Chad and Kara Scott, I'm Lon McCarran. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.